Yo, what is going on, everyone? So in this video, we're going to go over the best PC parts to get if you just play Fortnite mostly and you don't play much other games. So we're going to go from different price points, the best parts that you should buy, AMD or Intel in the video. We're going to go all over that. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that you want to use is PC Part Picker. This is basically a website where you can pick all these PC parts and it will just show the parts that actually fit in your PC. And if there is any compatibility issues, like for example, a motherboard needing a BIOS update or a CPU cooler not being good enough for that CPU, it will flag it down here. So this is a really nice tool and it shows you the best price from different websites. So Newegg or Amazon, it'll tell you Amazon either has a lower price or it'll automatically choose Newegg if that's the lowest price. So really nice tool. So make sure to use this if you're planning on building a new computer, and make sure that you change the region on the top right if you have not already. So for me, I'm in the United States, so I'm gonna choose that. Click choose a CPU. Now this obviously depends on your price point and what you want. If you just want the best price to performance, the best PC that is going to be cheap and it's not going to run you a lot of money, then the Ryzen 7 7800X3D is a really good CPU. However, I've noticed a lot of people that get the CPU, they have a lot more money than that and they're able to get Intel, and the difference is quite big. On AMD, you're going to get a lot more FPS for the money that you're paying, which is going to be a lot less compared to anything else. And because of that, you're going to notice that in some scenarios the AMD system is way more sluggish feeling than the Intel, and the reason for that is just because on AMD you're gonna dip a lot harder when it comes to intensive scenarios in games, and a lot of these YouTubers and a lot of these benchmarks do not show that. You can only see that by either playing the game or actually going through some intensive testing to show which platform is better. So as you guys can see here, this is a test me comparing my i9 to a Ryzen 7 7800X3D, and I'm getting a lot more average FPS in an in-game benchmark map compared to this person with this Ryzen 7 7800X3D, and we're both optimized, we're both using the max capabilities of our system. So I'm gonna let you guys decide on your own, but most competitive players choose Intel for a reason. But if you want the best bang for your buck, again, 7800X3D is going to be a great option, so you just add that. And CPU cooler, you don't really need a crazy water cooler for a 7800X3D. If you go Intel, it's a different story. So for a CPU cooler, you could just choose the Thermalright Phantom Spirit 120 SE, add that. And then motherboard, there's only really two motherboards that are worth it. You don't have to spend a lot of money on AMD for a good motherboard. So the first motherboard is a B650 live mixer, and this one's really good and it's only $150. So it does look a little bit funny, but for the price you can't really beat it. And memory, quite simple. All you want to get is 6000 megahertz and it's going to be CL30. So these Corsairs are fine, but I would honestly prefer these just because they're a little bit cheaper. Anything higher than that is not guaranteed to work on AMD, so I would stick with 6000 just to avoid issues, and CL30 is the lowest CAS latency you could buy on that speed. Then storage, pretty simple. You want to choose a fast NVMe SSD that's also not breaking the bank, so I would look at one of these popular ones. But if we search up ADATA Legend, we can find this SSD right here for only about 80 bucks right here, which is honestly what you need. Anything more than that is kind of pointless, but it's good to have. Video card, in order to make this very cheap, I'm going to choose a 4070 Super and choose the cheapest one, which is going to be this MSI Ventus, but I'm going to go for the Gigabyte 3 fan. But as you guys can see, we're already at $1.4 thousand, and this PC is already going to run 360 FPS in a game like Fortnite. In other games, it obviously just depends, but this is a video completely showing you guys the best PC parts for Fortnite. This is the first PC. A case, it doesn't really matter for this PC, but for Intel, you want to make sure you get a case that fits a 360mm radiator. But for this case, you can just use this Air 93 Max. This is a really good case for the price, and it has very good airflow, so make sure to choose that. Power supply, it's quite simple. These RME power supplies from Corsair are top quality, so I'll just be choosing that just to make things simple. So this 850 watts is all you need, and as you guys can see, this totals out to $1.6 thousand for a really good PC that's going to last you a lot of time, and you're going to get huge amounts of FPS in Fortnite regardless of what settings you run. Now let's just say you want to make this cheaper, you would just change the graphics card to something else, or for a lot of you already have a graphics card that's good enough for Fortnite. Fortnite is not a graphics card intensive game. You don't need a crazy graphics card for Fortnite. So let's just say you have a 1660 or a 3060 or a 3050 even. You can just take that out of your current PC, put this into this new PC, and you're good to go. You saved yourself around $600, and all you had to do is pay $1,000 for this PC, and you're getting 360 FPS. So just keep that in mind. I'll be linking linking this PC build in the description, so if you just want this preset, you can just choose that and go on with your day. Now, just keep in mind, the 7000 XDD in this video is a little bit pricey. This is not the regular price that it should be priced at. It's going to be way lower, but as you guys can see, it's not in stock. So now we're going to start on the best possible PC that you can buy on the market if you have unlimited amounts of money. So what you're going to do for the CPU is you're going to choose a 14900K. The KS, not worth it if you're not going to overclock. If you're going to overclock this CPU, then a KS is going to make sense. But for most of us, a KF is already very good, and it's crazy cheap right now due to the price. So 442 is a really good price. CPU cooler, all you need for this is best CPU cooler that you can possibly buy, which is going to be the Trinity 2 Performance. And these two, it comes in black and white, so if you want to make a white build, you can. But these two coolers are the best coolers on the market. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. There are some good alternatives, but I would highly recommend getting these just because I've had these before and they've always had good results. Motherboard, it's quite simple. You're going to look for a Z790 ASRock Lightning, and it's going to be a ITX motherboard. And the reason we're picking an ITX motherboard, which is a small form factor motherboard, is we could get more RAM speed out of that motherboard, aka more FPS and lower latency. So for memory, since we're picking this motherboard, we're able to go up to 8000 megahertz on 48 gigabytes. The catch is you do have to pay for the 48 gigabytes. The 32 gigabytes also works, but I heard this motherboard just works way better with 48 gigabytes. So make sure to pick that. So these Team Group Extremes are really good. You want to get our DDR5 sticks without RGB just because DDR5 runs very hot, and whenever you're overclocking that's not a good combination. So storage, since this is the best PC that you could buy for your money, 990 Pro is going to be the best right there. And a video card, honestly, you don't really need anything crazy for Fortnite. So if I put a 4090 in this build, it's going to make 0 sense. So you're perfectly fine with a 4070 Ti for a game like Fortnite. You don't need anything better than this, and a lot of people are going to try to tell you otherwise. I've had a PC with a 4090, comparing it with my 3090, same exact FPS. There's absolutely 0 difference in a game like Fortnite whenever you're running competitive settings from a 4070 to a 4090. Don't waste your money, just get whatever is going to get you the best possible latency and the best possible FPS. So case, we're going to basically choose a case that's going to fit a 360mm radiator on the top. So that's going to be a case like the Lian Li 216 RGB, works really well. And another case is going to be a Lian Li Langcool 3. These two options are very good, pretty big, and you can fit a radiator on the top of the case. So I'm going to choose this one right here. And power supply, we're going to choose the best one we could buy on the market, which is going to be a 1300 watt power supply. And the reason for that is quite simple. Let's just say you want to upgrade it in the future, you can. So I'm going to choose the MSI one just because I built a PC with this and I could trust it. And as you guys can see, we're spending around $2,400 on a PC that's going to basically last you for years. You're going to be able to play games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, and more. But for Fortnite, this is the max you have to spend in order to get the best possible frames. Now, considering this is a Intel build and you do have to overclock this is a build where you were going to buy it and you're going to instantly go to my website or go to my Discord and buy an optimization and an overclock. And the reason for that is quite simple. Intel is a platform where it requires tuning. However, AMD is a platform where you just build everything, turn on your PC, and you can get the best possible performance right out of the box. Intel's the opposite of that, but good thing about Intel is, again, there's not that sluggish feeling that you get on AMD. AMD, whenever things get hectic, whenever things get crazy on your screen, it's going to drop, it's going to run worse, your mouse is not going to feel as good. On Intel, that doesn't happen. So Intel's going to be better latency. So if you're a competitive player, I'd go with the Intel build. Otherwise, if you're like just any other person, just wants to get good frames, play the game with a lot of frames, just get the 70-inch X3D build that I made at the beginning of this video, slide in your old GPU into there, and boom, you have a $1,000 PC that can run Fortnite at 360 frames. So that's going to be pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed and hope you guys found this helpful and learned a thing or two, or realized why you don't need to pay more money for your graphics card for a game like Fortnite. Comment down below if you have any questions or if you have any concerns regarding this PC build. I'm going to leave both of these linked in the description. And again, if you're going to get the Intel one, make sure that you're getting it overclocked and actually optimized. If you're not, then I highly recommend not going that route just because Intel requires tuning. So that's going to be pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.